The NDC remains unwavering in its commitment to quality and accessible education for all Ghanaian children, from kindergarten through senior high school to the university and beyond. Education is a bedrock of national development, and we are determined to ensure that every child, no matter their background, has access to a conducive learning environment. To achieve this, we will prioritize personnel quality, provision of infrastructure and learning material, and especially the relevance of what the learners are acquiring towards our future development. And we will pay particular attention to our schools in the rural areas and in deprived areas. Having said that, what I'm trying to say is that the education goes beyond the infrastructure. Although that is basic, it is fundamental. It ought to have been there, but it has not been. And that is why we pay attention to it. And we also pay attention to the quality of the facilitators of the whole learning process. And that explains why we keep raising the quality of teacher preparation and teacher training. Vocational and technical education is a very important area of focus. With approximately 70% of our population under the age of 30 and 50% under the age of 18, it is imperative that we prepare our youth for the job market. And I would like to plead here that we look at our semantics again. If somebody went to the vocational school, it is because he is so endowed to go there. It is not so much because he couldn't. We need to tone that language so that the students will feel appreciated and will feel encouraged and will know that we appreciate them also for the talent that God has given them. We know without them, all the value addition and so on may elude us. Our manifesto also emphasizes digital literacy, and I think my boss has spoken at length on that. But our vision is very clear. We want and will support an education system that prepares every Ghanaian child for a bright future, and a child who is rooted in their global knowledge through our rich cultural legacy. We consider this to be very, very important. And therefore, all the things that have been spoken about in education support this philosophical underpinning. Now, let me highlight our women. We recognize the role of women, and Shamima, thanks for emphasizing all of it. It's very, very important, and we agree with you. But distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you also know in this country where we stand as women. In fact, before I go on, where are the women here? If you don't mind, I would like all the women to stand just for a moment. Actually, we've been sitting for too long, so it's okay. And I want all of you to clap in appreciation. I want you all to clap in appreciation for what the NDC and what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has done for us. By bringing one of us into the public light, he has brought all of us. Thank you very much. You may sit down. So, Echi, we want to thank you very, very much. And you know, as women, we have all kinds of peculiar problems that only we know, that only we experience. He already talked about how our bodies naturally function and how that can even stop us from moving forward. It is not by accident that when you look at enrollment from P1 to P3, it's almost stable. But you look at P3 to P6, the drop comes after P6. And you ask yourself, why is this happening? And now we know why. And so we made a bold step to ensure that girls can also go to school, stay in school, move up as high as they can, and realize the potential in them. And of course, our bodies didn't just start functioning that way. It's just been who we are. We also know our economic challenges more than others. And what are some of them? For all kinds of reasons, we are not able to stay in school, and that is something we are going to work on aggressively, to remove all the bottlenecks, to remove all the obstacles that prevent girls from moving up. But meanwhile, a lot of us are up there already, and we may have missed a few things. So what happens? It is not by accident again that in this country, many women are in the small-scale businesses. Na yenso ni enyim faso no ana amboa mesiafo no wa ha aze na yeton ana yenton aze yeton aze enye jeti kasibia po na yehwehwe na yekohe yanko yem papa ho a yeboko nana ne fie yanko nana ne fie nde MP sikra no wenwu amenze wo MP de bebia na eriko ne fie ana eboko wo fa ne fie ana amboa ana eboko ba benyi ne fie densi na nko ba besia no o se ne nyimde onyibi densi na onyibi ehwa inum ye nsama yerbisa. So what's the solution to all of this? Or we'll go and borrow. Which bank? The bank will say bring a collateral. What is it? The papers to your car. Na car na ye wobia truck ne fampo wa ya asam. And then stood up for what done the papers bra wara mo etebusua fie order na wan ko take afa ebusua na krate na ezekoda ezekaje bosua nso cheda bank na yenta ayenko ho nso ye hia mboa. So then what do? We go to somebody who will lend us money. Yes, he will lend us the money, but the interest on that money is not even what we are seeing as 40% from the banks. Sometimes 100 or more ebusua fomo boa. Say you da mamanze. Inte fi ya baya dan. Ena yakọ bank onyeye. Ena yakọ bosia osun. Inte ya baya dan. Inte here abana oti mesiafo ase. Here political party a obu mesiafo. Na party no onye ma ohe. Onye National Democratic Congress. Nenya president so obu mesiafo. Oti mesiafo wonsu. Ibiko onye wana. Onye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. No wakaya nyina yensira bom no wakadensi ya baya dan. Insa ya pede eta akwa ya papa ho. Eta akwa ho po a ho ayebufu ana amaboa. Wabaka ho za akiro. Na debe bia arabaze oto na aza na wagbaka ho. Na enya he na ya pede ya boka ho. Asam na mo tinyin. Insi eso okay sadamza abane hwehwe he ya bank mahin. Ya pia bank oti he na ase. Yempe bank obaka da yankafa collateral mbra yenyibi. Yempe bank obaka da yankafa yanka no hu papers mbra. Hena asase kakrakan, hena ejapa yenyibi. Into what's you? What's it? Obey handed. Into so wakada ye Women's Development Banker. O se asamodo. Enya asamodo nkote enye de. Yenye sikanto na zo. O yensembi otumisisi wa henda abrabom. Ebi wo hopo a nya wo pie nso na beebi akwa kegina no mo da yenyin ebusu afa asma mbika watase pa ana ontase watase pa ebi so wo ho a akobon no bosian akwacha ko na kwato collection obakọ ho za akiro nti o meka nso akwato collection ana amaboa obafa nwem o wutokreti wa anyim da wa na onyero kasa no abaraba endemigina wa bu yechi mo be yebopu e yebohwe ezena kaw. It's a Women's Development Bank, no? Or the Sikano Monda Bosia, it's who or the phone boko. On the way, she papa, or more advisory services, or bagaidu, or mental, no, dandano. Or but the baby, no, not in fashion, Benyanewa. O send them fashion of sun chen. It's the Huna Erukotiano. Ebotum discanibi as I say, was it to him. Obodo baby na wo capital no retraw ana na business no orinyin na wo fa so no na so margin na ndo de eka da wo fa ne papa no ho na so ko ama wo haircut Into onyaze able to me akokohopi. Into Women's Development Bank and Orba. It is here to empower female entrepreneurs and small business owners by providing low-interest loans, financial education, and sustainable support. These initiatives will create job opportunities and break down the financial barriers that many women face when starting and sustaining business. Ewanti so business no so o so. Ewan ni enjuma dosu anambwa. Emesiafo njinzire enjuma dosu. Say ekofie. Insa asama America emenyimfo na agya atuma ama. Dentra. O send on ho asokra won kwan murubu anamboa. Say ya badodo. Inti say si ana ya atu do no so aye free. Ana inti menyimfo no wakant menyimfo no won bon se mesiafo. So this initiative comes as no surprise to some of us, because we have been long aware of NDC's long-standing commitment to gender equality and women's empowerment as essential pillars of national progress. And we know what our predecessors in the PNDC to the December Women's Movement and all did. It is also not surprising that it is NDC that pays attention to markets. We have heard of KJT, even if you haven't gone there. We have heard of Kotokraba and so many other markets. And sometimes you are driving or walking by, and the women who are converting our raw material into, adding value, are the ones sitting under some shed, the floor not even cemented, no washroom, nothing for their children. And in the end, you ask, so who buys the material and at what cost? So they need help in this area too. And you know, America jede, say begoya, one zekan, one apos winim dadao, mankesim, ama etanazo mankesim, what's the kahu? And I was in kahu. Makola, oh no, yemi. Hello, no, baby. What's all the kahu? Na maybe see a phone, maybe one summoner, wa, a gomino, wa market. Mankenia won't find them. Te banki lanya. What's all bank kahu? I don't want them. Into Obia kahu, Obiara baby, as some year canyon. Ye reasoning about employment, I am by 1 year to me. Honestly, boss, I can if you 24-hour economy, Obia Jatu. No one may embone some may use him. 1 million bones some my am, but the power so 133. As I was not to phone boko, share a pede quick and you use in your matter. I will from one. Jiwanutum or what's the washer bida, Fenin out to enchant. Jiwanutum, as I some no you, a bush of than Oboju. What's the one I Jim Baba? Now, Jonas obey Juma. It's the other one. It's 24-hour economy. Men can want some Sunday. Yenra, Waba can want SMP. Men in also Yata say. Now, Piada make a healthcare kakra. And we are now promoting in a numo how honestly Yatipi. Nadama, not to the enemy, so Damawabo Heno, a Hensuya, Yanzimote. Into the baby damnaze, chase compound and Abian hen. And yet, from us to Akufo-Addo, and of far Kesa, whom I chain as one hospital. Sister Samaboa. Into the Mina Bibi Bianawa. It's a one Zamepi or warrior. Nessa or friend and a saw. I see as the Angel Kakrabakanwa. And as it ways you move. Announce them. Into maybe a woman can do have mercy a phone call. No way, and maybe was a Chuchua Bechi. Sister, what's it? Coco win Coco wenyim. Nefes when you are the Mariano or do obiso or otsneye. Enya mohu, area mobi, no one is rado or it's a bush and funda yasinipi. Yabado obia wabakasa waha obia wabachra najin. Ohona waba, ohona wabuano, ohona what's in a dame. Yes, you're the honasi. So, This manifesto is not a set of attractive or empty promises. It is a roadmap to a better future for every Ghanaian. It is also our social democratic blueprint for building the Ghana we all want together. Together, for say atase, obia so na hozen, obia ni nyimizi, obia nember, obia na zeka ho, ni yetum ye pia ye ho, ye za akọ enyim. Nso onye do president na nko na oye no problem, onye no problem. Oye he nyina ye problem. Na mu wenyi dadodo obia so baba, wa baye mo botum. Na yasesa bebi ayete yasesa hene busua yasesa nzemepi na oma no afane ntempa wefra nti damna na ochada every party ne etoma every party na ote hena ase every party na oba oye mpuntudwuma yanto aba nje hwe yeto aba de mpuntudwuma embra yanwema yeto yes development is our goal ana into the meeting yaba nyanda da na akohwi na slangs bi na eba the slogan on for kwanim nyono nti na yaba de yebe adwuma. We are confident in the victory ahead, and the NDC has a good track record as well as a renewed vision. We are motivated by confidence in our skills and the goodwill of our fellow citizens. Progress is within our reach and the reach of every Ghanaian, regardless your age, religion, whatever that differentiates you. And we are here to present something very, very meaningful to reset Ghana. It's going to be hard work, but you and I know that by the grace of God, we will get there. So to vote for the NDC is to put your trust in the statement that Ghana can get better. Thank you very much.